Here's what I think is really going on in 2026. We have a device for everything, but nothing really designed for us. Your phone, that's everyone else's device. Messages, notifications, social media. It's built to pull you in every direction except inward. Your laptop, that feels like your employer's device. Even when you're off the clock, opening it feels like you're clocking in. I mean, that can be any job. Your normal 9 to 5, content creation. So where do you go? Where do you sit down and ask, what do I actually want this week? Where do you slow down enough to hear your own thoughts? For most people, the answer is nowhere. And that's the gap, not a tech gap, but a lifestyle gap. So let me tell you this here. The iPad fills that gap, not because of what it can do, but because of what it doesn't do. It doesn't demand, it doesn't interrupt, it just waits for you. And in a world that never stops pulling at your attention, having something that waits for you is a luxury. So my mornings usually start off with my phone, getting emails, texts, social media notifications, and things like that. I was reacting before my feet even hit the floor. Now when I wake up, I reach for my iPad, I look at my planner, whether it's Notion or Things 3, and I ask myself, what really matters today? Not what's urgent, not what's the loudest, what matters. I write down 3 things, that's it. Then I might journal for 5 minutes in the journal app. And not because I'm trying to be deep or anything like that, because getting thoughts out of my hair and onto a screen clears my mental fog. By the time I pick up my phone, I already know what my day is about. That shift from reacting to deciding changed everything for me. And it didn't require a new habit stack or a 5 a.m. alarm either. It just required a different screen. One of the things I love most about my iPad is that it changed the way that I learn. On my phone, learning really feels like content consumption. Scrolling through clips, saving posts that I'll never, ever revisit. And on my laptop, learning just feels like work. Courses, tabs, deadlines. On the iPad, learning just feels like curiosity. I'll read a book in Apple Books and highlight a passage that might hit different. If I have an idea, I'll take some notes with GoodNotes with the Apple Pencil Pro. I'll even have a conversation with Claude to even pressure test my thinking. There's no performance pressure, no timer, no grade, just me exploring something that I care about at my own pace. And honestly, that's when I retain the most information. Not when I'm cramming, not when I'm multitasking, but when I'm genuinely interested in what I'm learning. So here's what most iPad videos lose me. They show you apps, systems, and workflows. And trust me, it all looks great, but it misses the point. The iPad isn't powerful because of the apps. It's powerful because of the mindset shift it creates. When I sit down on my iPad, I'm not managing tasks. I'm asking a bigger question. Where do I want to be in 6 months? What's one thing that I keep avoiding that I know that matters? Am I spending my time on things that I actually care about? Use the iPad to map out your goals. Sometimes in Notion, sometimes in Freeform. Sometimes it's just a blank page where I can think out loud. Not in some complex systems, but in a way that it makes sense to me. Can you hear me? Testing the microphone, testing. The point isn't the tool. The point is I carved out a space to be intentional about my life. And the iPad became that space. That's not productivity. That's lifestyle design. Let's switch over to night. Okay, let's talk about nighttime. Because this is where most of us lose the plot. You're tired, you grab your phone, you're scrolling through content that you're not gonna remember later on. You're online comparing yourself to strangers and you're just feeling fatigued, somehow more drained than before. The iPad gave me a different evening ritual. Some nights I'm reading books, some nights I'm highlighting notes, sometimes I'm studying on it. Some nights I'm journaling about my day and how it went well. Sometimes I'm journaling about my day and how it went wrong. Sometimes I just open up Freeform and just brainstorm ideas with zero stake. It's really not about being productive at night. It's really about ending the day on my terms. Sometimes I'm in my bed watching YouTube videos or a movie. Like, the iPad at night is just a versatile device. When my phone's away, I just have my iPad out because I don't need it. Like, everything that's on my phone is on my iPad. And that's why I like using it at night. What I realized about nighttime routines, it's not about doing more, it's about closure. It's that moment where you tell your brain that we're done for today, you know? And the iPad helps with that because it gives me a calm place to put unfinished thoughts instead of letting them spin in my head when I'm trying to sleep. Because that's what happens at night, right? You guys get that too. Random thoughts, reminders, ideas, things you forget to do. And they all show up the second the room gets quiet. So I'll open my planner, look at tomorrow, move anything unfinished, maybe write down one thing I'm grateful for, or one thing I learned, and then close it. The iPad kind of becomes like a middle ground. So your phone feels too chaotic. Your laptop feels too much like work. But the iPad just sits in between, in the middle perfectly. Like relax enough for a couch or a bed, but focus enough to help you slow down on purpose. And honestly, a good night routine makes the morning way easier. When I end my day with intention, I wake up and feel like I have a less mental clutter, you know? I'm not starting my next day already behind. I'm starting with a little more clarity. And I think that's why the iPad is king at night. All right, let's go back to the daytime. All right, let's go. And also, a quick note on this, because I think it's important. I haven't upgraded my iPad since 2024. Now, I know that wasn't that long ago, but still, they already came out with a new one, the M5, and I'm still on the M4. In 2026, I think we should normalize keeping things that still serve us instead of chasing the next release. The value of the iPad isn't in the hardware. You can get an iPad mini, a regular iPad, iPad Air, iPad Pro, and still get the same results. So like I said, it's not in the hardware. It's in the habit that helps you build. The habit of slowing down, being intentional, and actually engaging with your own life. If your iPad still supports that, then you don't need a new one. Upgrade your systems, upgrade your habits. The device is just a canvas. Listen, if your days feel like you're just keeping up, if you end the week wondering where the time went, if you're tired of feeling busy but not fulfilled, you don't need another app. You don't need another video telling you to grind harder. You might just need a screen that lets you breathe. Look, the iPad didn't fix my life. And honestly, no device does that. But I tell you this, it gave me something I did not know that I was missing. A quiet space in a loud world. A place to think before I act. A place to plan before I react. A place where I can check in with myself before I check in with everyone else. I'm telling you, it's the iPad. But hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry I've not been consistent. It's coming. I promise. More content coming soon, I promise. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do all those fancy things. And make sure you hit that notification bell in the corner so you can receive updates whenever I post a video. It's your boy Rio here, signing off.